Sawa.
So, nakwambia
A national stage in tears, not triumph. They have had no deco. Their trainees were absent. Their everything was nowhere. But then, yet they stood tall and sang the national anthem, not as a routine, but as a cry for dignity, for justice, for visibility. For the immediate release of the director, definitely, who continues, definitely he was held in Comunicado at Eldama Ravine police station. Then with heavy hearts and trembling away from a system that has failed them. These were not just performers, they were children, daughters, dreamers. They came. This festival was meant to celebrate talent, to uplift voices, to nurture hope. But today, those voices were broken, silent, not by failure, but by frustration. Not by lack of skill, but by lack of care. How can we speak of competency-based education, that is CBC, when competency is crushed by chaos? How can we promise children the spotlight only days? And behind the cameras we have the eagle himself, Collins, and my director violent to us. So we've had these definitely the talk of the town trending. Definitely, we've had also the ODM party leader, that is the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, who's condemned it. We've had also Gachagua remarks and claims trending definitely on the people in the government. We've had also the IBC appointment, where we've had one of the actually the girls, the Butere girls, who are trying maybe to force themselves in the auditorium to perform their themed play, The Echoes of War. And that is definitely what we are going. That was written back in 2013, that was the 21st April that was performed, The Shackles of Doom. The same thing that happened today. As they say, history definitely will repeat itself. Today we've had the same that happened in back in 2013, 21st April, when the same writer, Cleophas Malala, who is the former senator of Kakamega County, definitely wrote a play themed as The Shackles of Doom. The then girls who are in Butere, that back in 2013, they were denied an access for the performance in the auditorium. Definitely today, again, it has happened in the national competition that was just been held in Nakuru. So we've had these girls doing this, and I wanted that maybe just to talk about it first before maybe we get our director having come plays on it. I wanted us to talk about it, tell you about the synopsis, because when you talk about the something repeated and a reflection of sound, but then now when you talk about just echo in a normal guy meant in this book. So the synopsis about it is that they exist for the young. Those who are old bring experience, while those who are young bring enthusiasm. To illustrate the widening gap between two generations, the old and the young. The artistic contest Middle East. In this kingdom, the old have quickly lost trust of the young. Over is an inevitable promise. An stipulated so well. Sultan is a tall, energetic man in his prime time. He oozes all qualities of power and affluence. His gesticulation and elaborate movements paint him as an authoritative man in full control. Definitely, many people on TikTok, I was watching on TikTok today, they were trying to illustrate this man Sultan and try to paint his characters as one of the leaders in our country, who I don't want to mention because of the reasons best known to you guys, viewers. There is this Mama Nifa. So Mama Nifa is a woman steeped into religion. She demonstrates qualities of an overprotective mother, saddened by the pain of her daughter's mistake. That is Mama Nifa. She has a daughter who is definitely daily making mistakes, and she's not happy about it. And there is the third character, who is the police. The police is the father to Anifa Imana, an overzealous security officer. He finds himself subconsciously conflicted between traditional attributes of a child and the reality. Too. And there is the fourth character, Mustafa, the embodiment of a new generational innovator. He finds himself on the wrong side of the law and has to fight the stain of a revolution, definitely a revolutionary. We have the fifth, who is Anif. All the attributes of quantum computing and synthesized storage. She represents the future, a collaboration between who is the last character depicted in that play, a representative of the cultural background in which Strick. So those are the characters that are well depicted in that in that play of Echoes of War, definitely written by Cleophas Malala. And that is what I just wanted to add, because it has been a talk of town all the way from all the social really happened. So in the morning, we've actually, before the play was actually performed in regional somewhere. Play going on, but definitely legislation that national level, that is in Nakuru. So there's this lawyer, there's an advocate who actually went to the court in Kisii. Nakuru. So the girls come in the morning, they are well prepared, definitely. During the night, Cleo Malala gets arrested. And I'll get the director just to play us that video when the girls are being entering the compound of that school. And what happened is that people now definitely were joy. Everybody was joyful about seeing the school. Police enforcement. I don't know if the director has the video to show us when the guys are coming in with those police. So after, when they are getting in, what happened is that they get into the auditorium where they have to perform. But there's something unexpected that happened. They were told not to come in with any other decors, no backdrop. The music, the one that they use on the backgrounds and the whatevers. There was no director, no teacher. All they did was just get in the room where they had to perform with no costumes. And definitely the audience was not there. So majama wanaingia, and I would have wished to how vile waliingia majestically. The guys definitely, after you there is this guy from Bungoma, or is it Kakamega, the Eugene Wamalwa, who came in also actually traveled all the way from Nairobi to just mitandao zote wanakuja pamoja, and then they are coming to the stage. So what happened is that when kuangalia nobody we walk around checking kuangalia even at the backstage. What they do, mama, how they need, how you arrange yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Butere Girls. I don't know, only for the best. We have this play echoes of war and this and this and this and this and this and this. But what happened is they only sang the national anthem. I want this to deeply sink. Thereafter, they leave the room. And there is a video where the director, I think, will want him to show it. They are in now where other people, not just students now, the villagers. This was not about the students. It was now about, it was a national thing. Now they were the villagers who came. I don't know if they were teachers. I don't know if they were parents. I don't know if they were the judges. I don't know what happened. So they walked with them after the guests left the auditorium, singing and making some chants of Ruto must go. Ruto must go. All of them, they were singing. preview of what they had in the play. So there was one that was saying that barabara itoke Butere, ikuje Lamu, ikuje Samatani, ikuje paka Mogadashu, ikuje paka Elwak. So they was trying to make that joke of it, and definitely there are some definitely those guys who've been recorded. Had other plays. What people are asking is that we've had this literature being portrayed before with a number of writers doing it with different books. So what is the problem? The girls performing it today and those writers who wrote it before. We've had the Chozi Lahiri, which is currently being Kifo Kismani. We've also have Tumbo Loshiba, where it has a number of stories, definitely Kiswahili, where they're trying to depict what is happening in our society, as they say, fasihi ni kioo cha jamii. We've had Kigogo. Kigogo has some number of characters, which are those kids. I mean, those are the learners who've done it maybe 2018, and therefore they have done it. Where we had a number of characters on social media, kina Tunu, kina Kega, kina kind of something, those guys. We have Wema Hawozi. And we have a number of plays actually written by the late Mzee Ken Walibora, who till today we cannot tell what happened, what killed this man. So there have been so many comments saying, ama aliuliwa because ndiye asiendelee kuandika with his where we have Imani and Amani. So that play, we have a play within that for Amani and Imani thing. We have Kufa Kuzikana. And also have, maybe we've forgotten about Mustahiki Mea. So these are some books that have been portraying literature skills that maybe to portray what happens in society, but now through acting. So people asking, who is Malala to write a play for the girls? Is he a teacher? He isn't a teacher. But then some will Ministry of definitely do this and this. Is he trying to use this as an opportunity to portray his frustration over UDA party? Is he being used by the Wamnyoro guy, who is maybe the guy Rigiji, who is the former deputy president? So there have been so many speculations and many questions on the social medias where people are ganging up against definitely those who are ganging against the government and siding with the girls. And there are those who are ganging against the girls and siding with the government. And there are those who are actually Malala. But if I take you back, you know, this something is so, I don't know, is it satirical in a way? Because there is a picture is in a uniform of Butere girls. Definitely is alma mater school. She's an alumni of Butere girls. She's donned in a uniform. Definitely she's been there for some time doing ABCD. She has been supporting the school. Because I'm told it's Sharon Odhiambo, who is the principal, the chief principal, who is almost actually retiring. And the school has been doing so well in when it comes to curriculum. director is trying to bring that on the. If you look at it, she's smiling at the girls, and there is even another picture, but then I don't know if it's there. But then there is this guy, the first lady who is there. So people are asking, why will this happen for a school that is an alma mater for the first lady? Why is she so quiet about this incident that have been happening? Where have been the feminists who've been at the forefront defending women? But in this case, when the girls are in a problem, they have suddenly disappeared. And so many people have been asking, we've had so many leadership in taking, as charge as a country, all the way from Kenyatta. Kenyatta had never had a problem with the kids or anything to do with people performing their art. After Kenyatta, we had Moi. Everybody was, as the villagers wakiimba nyimbo za kusifu Moi. You know, people say that he was a dictator, but then kuna walikuwa wanapendwa na ile mazoea yake ya Nyayo. I don't know if there is like a video that also been trending, watoto wakiimba na maziwa the director is working on it to bring it up. And then we've had, after Moi, we had Mwai Kibaki. Mwai Kibaki, whom they say is the main cause to the problems we are facing today as a country. What problems are we talking about? The country, they are becoming unruly. Produce the free education to them. Nobody has ever had a problem there, and Moi had never have a problem with people performing their art. After Moi, we've had the retired president who is Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta ametusiwa sana, watu wameongea mambo mingi, amepewa majina paka Jaden, wamefanya mambo gani hapo, all those kinds with the people. What has come or what has happened with our president doing all this? The question would still be, the one doing all this. How are we able to prove that our president, Dr. William, allies, close allies coming in? We've had Murkomen coming condemn but them, they are siding with the government, saying the president must be respected. But the same thing in 2013, there is a tweet that surfaced about the same, when Murkomen was condemning the government of not allowing the shackles of doom to be performed, which was then written by Cleophas Malala. But definitely we've had also Sudi, who said, why is Cleophas using the minors to portray his frustration, saying that those guys are the political seniors in the other, but the saying is I don't know, how have you taken it? How have you felt about these incidents? Now, thereafter, after all the frustrations, the guards got into the bus. Now they were taken back home, and they were received by the bishop of SEK, the bishop of SEK, who is we call her this. I think is there's this bishop of Butere, who is the first female bishop in the history of the Anglican Church in Butere to be ordained as the bishop in charge. To be ordained as the bishop in charge. That is Ross Okeno, who is now currently the bishop of Butere Diocese, who received the girls and took them to the cathedral to offer you that is just outside the cathedral with who is the DYO, Mr. Reverend Frederick Akali Mcheni, who actually with the Kayo representatives and other reverends who received the girls and offered a prayer for them. But there was speculations and some information coming from the former Secretary General of UDA, Cleophas Malala, saying there were 15 kids who so well, and then they were left to receive them. They were directed to the school, and all that has just was the play conducted? No. So did other school perform? Yes. So what will happen to them? Will we still have that play reconsidered to be maybe showcased to the public? Outlets saying that Cleophas Malala is going to sponsor some people in the art, that is Kenya Theatre, to perform, who are now who are not now minors, but grown-ups who are definitely publics with the citizens will be welcome to come and watch it, see it. Feedbacks to in the comment section so that we can see. I mean, what do you think about what has just happened today? The echoes of war. But well, I mean, played by the coming here, we have the on goal show being run by Vincent Okinda, who is currently not here with us today. He is somewhere on an official duty, definitely for the Mopo TV. We have this guy who actually in our media industry, that is a Boge. Silas Cyracuse Thrombus, I don't know jina yake kali sana. We have the eagle himself, Collins, ambaye pia is behind the camera, making sure all that is coming to you guys is definitely the best out of the best. So if it's your first time coming on this show, on this podcast episode 2, kindly consider subscribing and leaving some comments in the comment section to see what is your feeling, what do you need to talk about next, because we are going to have our episode 3 of the podcast in some keep subscribing. Let's move to the next milestone. Good job. Enjoy.